AM viewers, welcome to a Cypher Day 3. The fireside chat just ended with a man who needs absolutely no introduction, Ronnie Screwvala. Ronnie sir, welcome to Cypher.
Thank you.
How was the session for you?
Very good. Very interactive. And I think the cross-section of questions, the energy in the room was also very good. Everyone was leaning forward.
Of course, to listen to you, just like I am leaning forward right now.
No, lean forward to listen is very different from lean forward to learn.
That's a very good point. Sir, we have a rapid fire planned for you. We are going to merge three things that India absolutely loves currently: cinema, AI, and of course the two businesses as well. So let's get right into it. How do you think AI is going to change the future of film production and storytelling?
It's going to augment. It's not going to replace. It's not going to change it in many ways. It's going to augment like everything else. I think today when OTT platforms have come in, it's not a new technology in that sense, but it's augmented that because today's serialized ability to tell stories is becoming 10 times more. Documentaries and docudrama was a genre that was just never invented. It was something that everyone thought films division before a movie starts. Today, docudrama, because of that, the audiences are changed to now want a sense of context and realism in storytelling. So look at the changes that made. So I think AI is a proficient augmentation where you've got a buddy, you've got somebody who can walk ahead of you, walk behind you, prompt you, give you a perspective. And when you have a writer's block, we can do that. I think all of that makes incredible sense.
Absolutely. Sir, can AI help democratize access to education as Upgrad is doing with higher education?
Yes, I think it can. It can also make it more affordable. See, we just need to understand that it's a tool to do that. At the end of the day, education is not about a one-way street where you can absorb. So this is not an AI tool. Because if everyone gives me an answer and it's a replacement, that's not going to work. Because the real learning is going to be maturing your mind. If your mind is not maturing and using a tool as a prompt sheet, it's going to actually debilitate you. So using it as a means to augment is going to be most important.
So Swades Foundation works a lot for rural development. How much do you think AI can have a role to play in that?
I think for foundations and for not-for-profits, again, the biggest part has been institutionalizing data. Institutionalizing and learning from data and cross-selling and cross-ability for us to learn what happens in Madhya Pradesh in a village and what happens in Maharashtra in a village. What happens with youth elsewhere? What is the ambitions and aspiration levels? Where are there water retention problems? Because the water retention in a country like India is so unique that to figure out what you want to do in one place or one state versus anywhere else. So I think just that knowledge, that database, to be able to do that is one. I think the second one is in medical because accessibility of medical or tertiary hospitals is almost low. So the reason why half of people are not medically insured is even if they were insured, they won't know where to go because there isn't a medical. So the ability for them to sort of use these technology tools where you can actually do diagnosis and prognosis long distance or digitally is making a lot of sense.
So under your production house, some extremely path-breaking films have been made in Hindi cinema. If one has to ask you in this digital era, in the era of AI, what does a writer or a filmmaker really need to work on?
I don't think it's about the digital of AI because I think it's also the era of distraction. It's also the era where people have realized that give me a little bit of context. It's also the era where the world is in a really bad place. Either countries are polarized or they're at war. It's also a place where you're threatened and a lot of youngsters feel, I don't want to have a kid because I'm not sure what the next 50 years will bring to that. So I think given all of that, I think what AI can do is bring a lot of context to what we want to do.
Absolutely. So would you trust as a film producer, AI to make some key decision making when it comes to the film productions process?
Today, no. I have to see how that goes. But today, if you ask me with a yes/no answer, the answer would be no. But I would use it to be that prompt sheet. Absolutely.
All right. So just last three questions for you. As a film producer yourself, a lot of the talk currently is about stock footage or location footage being just AI generated. Would you be okay to use that? Would you like to use that?
Yeah, I think it helps. If it gives you the right perspective of what you want to do, I think there's nothing wrong with that. Because at the end of the day, it's all about storytelling. So I think that tool of what you want to do, it's like saying an entire movie is made on CG. Would you really believe in it because it's on green screen? The fact is, yes, if you make it real, you will believe in it.
Absolutely. If it's made with conviction, say Avatar 2, I mean, people bought it. The entire world loved it. Yeah. All right. So how do you balance the ethical usage of AI, both in education and in filmmaking?
I think you have to distill it and you have to have your own judgment. If you take it at face value and if you take it verbatim, I think that's been the big challenge. So I think people are using AI as it's going to just solve this. It's going to be that one little R2D2 that's going to solve my things. So I think you have to use it as a filter. What's your filter for AI would be the better.
Very correct, sir. And the filter that we're talking about, last question before we let you go. If AI could handle one of those filters, one aspect of the work of, say, Swades Foundation, which one would you pick it to be?
I think it would be in education. I think it would be to augment, because I think today aspiration, ambition levels have got to go to the next level. And I think there's a lot of innovation that can happen in education and then in health. And those would be the two parts.
Sir, thank you so much for talking to us. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Ronnie Screwvala. Absolute delight to talk to you.
Sorry.
Have a great time in the rest of Cyphers.
Thank you.